In this report, I'll cover the cost to retire in Bucharest, Romania. When I was first in Eastern Europe 11 years ago, I decided to go to Transylvania to see Count Dracula's castle. Dracula is not real, but Vampire Dracula's name was taken from the most notorious killer in the 15th century Transylvania, Romania. Once in Romania, I decided to stay longer because it was some of the most beautiful, well-preserved medieval cities in Europe. I fell in love with Romania as I traveled around her almost 11 years ago. So it was only natural for me to return to show you my two favorite places to retire here. The video I've been showing you so far today was to whet your appetite for Brasov, Romania, which I will show you next week, so subscribe if you like these. But hereafter, today, I'll show you only video we took of Bucharest, the capital of Romania. As I show you Bucharest, I'll share my estimated costs of living here if the two of us move to Bucharest, Romania, year-round on a tight budget. I'll also include middle range costs of living estimates, so you'll have another data point. But first, I'll share my retirement desirability factors and overall score for Bucharest, Romania. Okay, here we go. Bucharest, Romania, retirement desirability factors. Before you move anywhere outside your home country, create a list of things that you must have for your happy retirement. Here are my retirement desirability factors, and I will rank each as high, medium, or low before assigning an overall retirement desirability score to Bucharest. Walkability, high. We stayed only about 15 minutes walk from the old town area of Bucharest. In fact, we walked everywhere in central Bucharest. We found all of our daily needs within a 5 to 15 minute walk of our apartment. We did ride the public transportation to and from the Bucharest North train station when we took the train to Brasov. We also took a Bolt taxi to and from our Airbnb apartment when we arrived in town and departed. So we would not need a car if we lived in Bucharest. Boy, would that save money. Internet, I would say high. The Wi-Fi in our Airbnb was 60 megabits per second up and 42 megabits per second down. Good enough for us to do Zoom calls, upload YouTube videos, and watch Netflix. Okay, food, I would say high. There was a grocery store just 2 blocks from our house and a Lidl grocery store just about 15 minutes by trolley from our house. Both had decent prices and selection, so we found everything we needed. There's also a large selection of various foreign restaurants in Bucharest, since it is a capital city with prices running from about $8 to $16 per meal. There are also local family food places around with meals starting around $5. Okay, weather. I would say medium. Monthly highs in Bucharest average from 37 Fahrenheit, which is 3 Celsius in January, but monthly highs increase to 86 Fahrenheit, which is about 30 Celsius in August. Monthly lows in Bucharest average from 25 Fahrenheit, which is minus 4 Celsius in January, but lows increase up to 65 Fahrenheit, which is 18 Celsius in July. The best weather runs from May through September. It rains on average about 5 days per month, except in April, May, and June, when the rain falls about 8 days per month. Snow in the cooler months, like January and February, is not uncommon in Bucharest, but it's generally not heavy. Things to do, I would say high. Bucharest is the capital city of Romania, so it hosts many cultural events such as concerts, classical music, opera, symphony, fashion shows, museums, festivals, and marathons. It also has a great nightlife in the Old Town area, and visiting talent like international DJs, rock stars, and musicians stop by Bucharest. There are coffee shops, shopping malls, and a lot of beautiful parks. Okay, social considerations. I would say high. Romanian people that work at hotels, restaurants, and retail stores and other public-facing occupations speak English. Additionally, about 40% of the general public speak conversational level English. About 90% of young Romanians speak conversational English because it's taught in schools. Plus, Romanians in general are fascinated with foreigners from other parts of the West, so are very helpful when they realize that English is your first language. In general, Romanians of any age are kind people and will help you when you ask questions. However, in remote areas, English is less likely, so you may need to rely more on Google Translate and universal hand gestures or pantomime. Okay, safety considerations. I would say hi. The U.S. State Department webpage for Romania published the lowest level 1 risk for Romania. Exercise normal precautions. Numbeo surveys reports that crime is lower and life is safer in Bucharest than in Phoenix, Arizona, for example. But you can compare Bucharest to other cities in the world at that link. We have been out late in Bucharest and it felt safe to us. You can also review my report, How to Travel the World Safely, which is how I've remained safe traveling the world for 17 years. Okay, expat community. I would say hi. Here are a few Facebook pages that cater to English-speaking expats living in Bucharest, Romania. There's 3 of them. One of them has 50,000 members. These online expat communities are great for learning all about things that expats want to learn when they first move overseas. They're more likely to answer questions they have not answered recently, so make sure to scroll down and or search for previous questions asked and answered before posting any new questions. Okay, medical. I would say medium. This Healthcare International Comparison Index ranks Romania 72nd in the world, 3 spots lower than the United States, which is ranked at 69th. There are different ways healthcare is rated, but this one seems to be considering quality of care in relation to what patients are charged. You may decide to seek treatment in Bucharest or one of the other countries in the world on this or any other ranking. I have had great experience with Thailand, which is ranked 31st, and Malaysia, which is ranked 42nd. It's also true that there are very good doctors in Romania, so make sure to ask around for referrals and establish a relationship with doctors based on the feedback you've gotten from others who have used their services. The above expat Facebook pages may be a good source for that kind of information. Okay, tourist visa. I would say hi. Romania is now a member of the Schengen visa countries. Citizens of many countries such as the UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Malaysia, USA, and many others are given 90 days of visa-free entry upon arrival. Plus, we can stay in any Schengen member country for no more than 90 days cumulatively during any 180-day period. Romania residence permits. I would say medium. A residence permit allows foreign citizens to legally stay in Romania beyond the 90-day Schengen period. There are more than one kind of residency permit, but I will only discuss 2 here and then give you a link to an immigration specialist that has a YouTube video on this subject. The 2 I will discuss are both for people that want to retire in Romania. The first is for people 65 or older that want to retire in Romania. Technically, it seems there's no retirement visa at all, but if you are 65 or older, you can just overstay the 90-day Schengen period. Then this immigration specialist says they can help you apply for a residency, including paying for health insurance, which is 400 euros per year, and by filing your Romanian taxes. The present Romanian immigration policy is to allow you to stay because you are past working age. So they issue a residence permit so long as you keep paying your health insurance and paying your Romanian taxes. I learned this technique from watching videos by an immigration lawyer that you can reach by email, which I'll provide in the report below, or their YouTube channel, which I'll provide a link to. For people under age 65, the same specialist suggests getting the same health insurance, and then setting up a corporation in Romania to obtain the first year permit, and then reporting an income of at least 3,000 euros each year to obtain residency extensions. But the second corporate residency permit may vary based upon your home country. Also, things change, so contact them directly to learn any changes to these two residency methods. And make sure to do your diligence to verify that this immigration specialist is properly qualified and licensed to provide this advice. Okay, real estate, I would say hi. The sale of apartments to foreigners in Romania is allowed, so foreigners can purchase, rent, and sell properties. But foreigners cannot buy land in Romania. Land with a house can be bought for a legal entity if it's a Romanian company. However, I do not recommend buying real estate in a foreign country until you've lived there for an extended period of time, making sure that you love it and want to stay. If you decide to buy, you should also get your own lawyer that has no conflict of interest with you. For example, do not use a lawyer recommended by your real estate broker or local lover. Okay, Bucharest. Overall retirement desirability score. I would say medium. I like warmer year-round weather. It's not terrible weather here, but cool enough in the winter to make me want to fly south to warmer weather for 4 months of the year. But if you like city life and are comfortable with 4 seasons and are attracted to the cultural aspects of being in one of the most beautiful capital cities in Eastern Europe, then Bucharest would likely be a highly desirable choice for you, especially when compared to some of the more expensive, culturally rich cities in Western Europe. Okay, estimated costs to retire in Bucharest, Romania. Rents. I found this furnished one-bedroom apartment for 330 euros per month rent right in Bucharest. If you rent for a shorter period on Airbnb, it would be much more expensive. If you rent a larger flat with more space, it could easily cost twice as much per month. So the middle range expenses, I would estimate 700 per month on up, depending on area and size. Here is the process we use to find great apartments. So we'll show you a table of all the expenses in a moment. We use $359 USD for our lower rent estimate and $700 USD for the middle cost of living estimate for expats who want more space. Okay, utilities. To learn more about my Retire Overseas course and my hobby income course, come to vagabondbuddha.com. Grab a free copy of my ebook and I will... Okay, utilities. We estimate the year-round average for our utilities would be about $100 per month. The utilities would cost more for the larger space, starting at around $160 per month. Groceries. We would shop in the grocery stores for fresh food and non-perishable foods and other things like shampoo and detergent. We estimate about $360 per month for groceries. Other expats are likely to spend more on imported groceries they miss from home, spending more than $450 per month on groceries. Restaurants. We would eat out twice per week, mostly in more local-style restaurants, averaging 5 to 8 US per meal per person, and 1 or 2 splurges per month of about 10 to 15 US per meal per person. If you add all that up, we would spend around $220 per month for the two of us on restaurants. We may have a beer here and there, but that's covered below under alcohol. Other expats are likely to eat more Western-style foods in expensive expat-style restaurants and less in the local-style restaurants, so they would likely spend more, like $300 per month for 2 people in restaurants. It is a lifestyle-dependent decision. Okay, cell phone data. The cost to get a prepaid Orange brand SIM card for your unlocked smartphone is $7 US per month, with about 66 gigabytes per month of data. My Android phone will act as a hotspot so we can both be on the internet at the same time when we're out of the house together. Other expat couples are likely to buy 2 prepaid SIM cards, so they would probably spend around $14 per month. Laundry. The apartments all seem to have clothes washing machines. The above grocery estimate includes laundry detergent. Drinking water. We read online that the water is clean and safe here, and many people drink water from the tap, but we would be more careful. We didn't see reverse osmosis delivery in 20-liter jugs, so we would probably get a Brita water filter. The filter refills would be about $5 US per month. Okay, internet. 60 megabits per second up and down is about $10 per month for in-home Wi-Fi. Public transportation. Each public transportation ride is about 66 cents USD. We would average 2 round trips per week for the two of us, which is 8 per week or 32 per month, or about $21 per month in public transportation. We would probably take another 4 Bolt taxi app rides per month, averaging about $4 US each, or $16 per month. So total transportation would be about $37 per month for the two of us. Other expats might spend more on taxis and less on public transportation, so I would estimate about $100 per month for them. Okay, alcohol, which is optional. Domestic beer in grocery stores in Bucharest is about $1.03 for 500 ml beers, which are larger than the US size beers. In bars and restaurants, half-liter draft domestic beers are about $3 US. So we estimate about $100 per month on alcohol for the two of us. Many other expats would spend a higher amount for imported foreign or craft beers in expat bars, so about $180 per month for 2 people, assuming they're not into imported whiskey or wine. Okay, entertainment, which is also optional. We would budget about $200 per month for entertainment for the two of us. We would enjoy doing more do-it-yourself kinds of entertainment, so expats spend a little more, maybe $300 per month for the two of them. Okay, estimated cost to retire in Bucharest, Romania. Let's add it all up. For the lower costs, rent $359, utilities $100, groceries $360, restaurants $220, cell data $7, drinking water $5, internet $10, transportation $37. If you add up those basic costs, it would be $1,098 per month. Add alcohol of $100, it would put you at $1,198. Add entertainment at $200, it would put you at $1,398 per month. For the middle range, with the higher rent, more money on groceries and restaurants, and more money on transportation, it would be $1,739 for the basic costs. And when you add optional alcohol, it would be $1,919. Optional entertainment would put you at $2,219 per month. The above lower estimated cost of living would be if the two of us lived in Bucharest, Romania on a tight budget. The middle estimate is just an example of what other expats might spend if they moved here. To understand what it costs you to live here, you must put your feet on the ground, see how you would choose to rent, eat, and entertain yourself, and add it all up. It doesn't matter what anyone else spends because we are all different. If you click the first link in the notes below the YouTube video, you'll see all of the information I shared with you and the links and our Bucharest, Romania Old Town walking tour, and also all of the restaurants and all of the bars and lounges and services we used in Bucharest. Plus, it would teach you how to add or remove things from the table based on how your needs would be different from mine. Thanks for watching our video. Take care.